Matthew Stafford is going to be elite this season.
So I understand Stafford had an amazing outing with the Rams. But can we also seriously take a look at the fact that this was the Chicago Bears we're talking about? And they do have a good secondary. Let's not lie. They do have a fairly good defense, but when you're able to establish your presence so early on like the Rams did, when you're able to be fairly comfortable for the most part in Matthew Stafford, be able to move outside of the pocket. I mean, the dude had a 156.1 passer rating. What's a perfect passer rating? Is that it? It's like 156.8?
158.3.
Oh, okay, there you go. Has Matthew Stafford, and maybe he has, but we're not going to see a Stafford play like this and be on pace for a 5,500-yard season, quite a few touchdowns. Like, Matthew Stafford is going to be effective in this year, but look at what he's surrounded with. And this is why the excuses are over with for Carson Wentz, because look at what he's surrounded with. Matthew Stafford has the coaching, has the players. We've talked about this time and time again, but for him to be elite, if he was playing maybe the Bucs or potentially how that Bills defense tried to play this weekend, or, they play the Colts coming up, so that'll be a good challenge. But a Colts team per se, like, we're talking about a young Bears team with a shaky QB situation. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily affect your defense, but that's still locker room presence. That's going to knock off some of your chemistry. So let's definitely pump the brakes on a Stafford elite. But I mean, he could be top 12, 13. The guy's got talent, but still an underachiever, I guess, until yesterday.
I mean, I'm not willing to give a quarterback elite status that took over a playoff team with excessive weapons, and we were giving him every excuse in the book for what he didn't have on the other side. And when you look at it on the flip, since this is one of the very few instances where teams actually swap quarterbacks, the quarterback that you replace put up even more numbers than you did with your raggedy team without your top receiver. There was no Galladay there. Goff went for 338 and 3 touchdowns and then lost to San Francisco, which was a better defense that he played against.
Swift balled out.
Like, Stafford may have great numbers this season. But
it's lined up for him. If he doesn't, we're blasting him.
What you walked into, you have to put up better numbers than what Jared Goff did, at least in his 2018 season when they went to the Bowls. I mean, he went for just a few ticks shy of 4,700 yards, 32 touchdowns and 12 picks for a 101 rating. And they went to the Super Bowl.
Goff was lights out on play action in 2018. I mean, he was probably, I want to say statistically, the best play action quarterback that year.
Definitely, he balled out. So it's like that's what you're up against. You don't get to just make the playoffs and lose in a wild card and be like, oh, well, it was a good season because you made the playoffs. They made the playoffs last year and went to the divisional round. The expectations are extremely high, and if you don't exceed them, it's not a win.
Rams have to be in the NFC title game, according to the fans this year. I mean, Super Bowl run. Let's just take it to the top. The Rams have a Super Bowl roster, even with Stafford right now. If we're going to go off week 1, if we're overreacting, they have a Super Bowl roster.
I mean, everybody has a chance right now.